Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Melissa, and if you're new here, I speak about different topics in my channel. So if you're interested in all that, go ahead and subscribe, hit that bell so you can be notified every time I upload. Today I have a new topic to talk about. We're going to talk about laws, crimes that changed the law. Today we're going to be talking about Sam, the son of Sam. He was a serial killer in New York who had problems. He blamed his crime in a dog. He told the detectives that the dog told him to kill. I don't know how you blame a dog for what you did, but yeah, that was his excuse. I have been interested in true crime for a while, and there are some crimes that you hear the reason why they committed the crime, and it's just like you have questions. So yeah. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to I have been feeling very thirsty lately. I don't know why. A son of Sam Law, also known as the notoriety for profile law. It's a law designed to keep criminals from profiting from the public of their crimes, for instance, by selling their stories to publishers. Okay, so basically this law was, and I think they have it in all the states. I don't know. I may be wrong. But when he, when, especially a serial killer, there's going to be directors, people that write books. They're going to want to write a book about the crimes. So this law is basically saying, yes, I could write a book of your crimes. I could do a documentary about your crimes, but the money that I make is not for you. It's for the victims or for any type of charity. It just depends on where the money is going to want to go to. There is so that's what this law is, because I think he wanted to write a book or something, and he wanted to, and they're like, no. Say, no, you're not supposed to write a book and get money out of it. That's a no. Because it wasn't a law before. It was okay for criminals to write a book or do any type of documentary, and the money would go to them, which I think is not it's the dumbest thing. I don't know why they would do that. No. For instance, by selling their stories to publishers. Justice law often authorized the state to seize money earned from the deal, such as book, film, biographies, paid interviews, and use it to compensate the criminal's victims. These laws have been criticized as violating the free speech guarantee of the First Amendment to the United States Constitution. The original namesake law from New York State was ruled unconstitutional on those grounds by the Supreme Court of the United States. New York and other states have since passed laws with similar goals that attempt to complete with the court decision. In certain cases, a son of Sam law had been extended beyond the criminals themselves to include friends, neighbors, and family members of their lawbreaker who seeks to profit by telling publishers and filmmakers of their relation to the criminal. In the other case, a person may not financially benefit from the sale of the story or any other momentums pertaining the crime. So basically, the serial killers, if they have any type of family still alive to this day, they are not allowed to ask for money. Oh, but that's my cousin. No, sir. Your cousin is a piece of junk who kill innocent people for no reason. You're not getting paid. For what? So you could go and put money in their books? No, not happening. The term son of Sam is delivered from the first law of this type target a serial killer, David Berkowitz, who used the name son of Sam. He gave that name to himself. He is the second serial killer that gave his name to himself. The BTK killer, he named himself. I don't know. during his notorious murder spree in mid of 1970s. New York City. After his arrest in August of 1977, the instant media interested in the case led to whispered speculation that he may sell his stories to a writer or filmmaker. Although Berkowitz denied wanting any kind of deal, the New York state legislation swiftly passed protected legal status. Anyway, the first legal restoration of its kind in the USA. The original New York law was invoked in New York 11 times between 1977 and 1990, including against Mark David Chapin, the murder of musician John Legend. Critics argue that the law infringed on freedom of speech and therefore violated the First Amendment. Further say that the Son of Sam law takes away the financial incentive for many criminals to tell their stories, some of which, such as the Watergate scandal, were of vital interest to the general public. In 1987, lawyers for published companies Simmons and Shelter sued New York authorities to prevent enforcement of the Son of Law with respect to a book that they were about to publish called Week's Guide, written by Nicholas Pigley. The book was about ex-mobster Henry Hill, and it was adapted for the film Goodfellas. The case reached the USA Supreme Court in 1991 in an 8-0 ruling on Simmons and Hersher versus Criminal Vigilance Board. The court ruled that the law unconstitutional. The majority opinion was that the law was over-conclusive and would have prevented the publication of such work as the autobiography of Malcolm X, Der Silver Descendant, and even the Confession of St. Augustine. Similar to the state of California, Son of Sam law was struck down in 2002 after being used against Barry Keeney, one of the men who kidnapped Frank Sinatra Jr. in 1963. After numerous revisions of New York adopted a new Son of Sam law in 2001, the law requires a victim of crime be notified whenever a person convicted of crimes receives $10,000 or more from particularly any source. The law attached a spring status of limitations, giving victims an extended period of time to sue the perpetrator of the crime in civil court for their crimes and to potentially receive damages. This law also authorized a state agency, the Crime Victim Board, to act in the victim's behalf in some limited circumstances. Thus far, these current New York law has survived court security, largely because profile in his target instead of speech. Regardless of whether the state has a formal Son of Sam law, victims and their families may use city lawsuit for monetary damages that activity predicated or wrongdoer for accused wrongdoer from profiting from their crime. A prominent example of the allegation between the family Aaron Golden and O.J. Simpson. Following Simpson's acquittal for the Golden's murder, Goldman family won a wrongful death claim against Simpson for more than $30 million. When Simpson later published a book about the murder, If I Did It, a court awarded the book rights to the Gordon family to help satisfy the judgment. In high-profile criminal cases, in cases that are closely tied to the national security, such as convictions for terrorism and expulsion, a Son of Sam clause has been included in the plea bargain. Example, including John Walker Lynch, an American who aided the Taliban in Afghanistan, and Harold James Nielsen, a Central Intelligence Agency officer who spied for Russia. As a result of these plea bargains, any all profile made from the book deal or movie rights would be turned over to the USA Treasury. Neither the convict nor the families would be able to profit. With the advent of the internet and online sales, many Son of Sam laws are now targeting the sales of so-called memorabilia. Few courts have yet issued opinions regarding the constitutional of many of these new laws. Some of Sam laws are directly from the assets fortuity, the size of assets acquired directly as a result of criminal activities, where assets fortier intends to remove the probability of crime by taking away money and any assets gained as proceeds from the crime. Son of Sam laws are designed so that the criminals are unable to take advantage of the notoriety of their crimes. And that is the story of the law of Sam. So basically, this law, it helps family. It basically stops the criminals of getting any type of money. One, they do not deserve it. They do not deserve anything money. But with all these documentary books written by them, and I mean, it's just so much that it's crazy. And now, if they want to if there's a publisher that wants to write a book about them, go ahead. But make sure that money that you are making from that book goes to the families, go to the victim of the family. Because at the end of the day, they lost a family member. They lost a loved one. And that loved one can never, no matter how much money you get or you give them, that family member can never come back. You know what I mean? But it can make a difference. I also think that you donate it to a college fund, or to any organization, to the cold case organization, to the missing organization, missing adults and kids organization, whatever organization. Just make sure that these criminals do not see a dime from their books or documentary or anything else. They don't deserve to see a dime. They do not deserve it at all, and it is what it is. I said what I said, and if you don't agree with it, that's on you, but not me. I agree that these criminals should not be seen a dime. If you're gonna read a book about them, you're gonna do a documentary, go ahead. All that, good for you. But make sure that the money that you make from these documentaries, from these books, these movies, these shows, goes to the victim family, because they deserve it. The criminals do not deserve anything. But yeah, guys, that's it for today. I know this one is a little bit shorter, but I will promise I will see you soon with another video. Have a wonderful Sunday. And if you are starting spring break with your family, please be careful. Do not drink and drive. Please stay safe. And if you go anywhere that is not like to the beach or whatever, please make sure that you stay together with your friends.